of the publishing persuasion, of the publishing persuasion. She's got her coffee. Wait,
Australia
okay,
Daddy.
did you go and get the coffee
Yeah,
and then you put it in a mug?
I live so close to a cafe. I just walk down with my mug to minimize waste. You
Look
know,
at you. Okay, cool. Okay, cool girl.
I wish I thought of the idea myself. I'm embarrassed to admit it took me seeing someone else in the area doing it. And I was like, yeah, like the first few months we were here, I was like just getting my well, I did have like a keep cup, but it was kind of the tail end of like COVID fears when we moved here. And keep cups became like a historic thing, which we need to make a comeback with them, I think, you know? I don't know what the vibe is like over there. Do you know what a keep
I
cup
don't
is?
what no. What
Ah,
is that?
it's like a thermos, maybe, but a mini
Okay.
one that's the shape of a coffee cup. So you take
Okay,
your
okay. Yeah.
own like insulated coffee cup with like a little
Uh-huh.
coffee cup lid. It's called a keep cup here. And then
Oh,
you
okay.
your daily cafe, you take it home, obviously wash it yourself, it's yours. And then your daily cafe puts your coffee in that, so you're not buying like 600 if you have two coffees a day, right? It's like 600 plus. Wait, how many days in a year are there? Why do I try to do math? Why do I even think of numbers? I know the numbers are not my friends.
Yeah, we don't need to
There's a
waste our energy
certain
on those things.
hundreds of numbers of days in the year. If you're having two coffees a day, it was like so many paper cups.
True.
There was like a huge
Okay.
wave of pre-COVID, people would take their keep cup and
Yeah.
then you'd
Yeah.
use that and like minimize waste. And some cafes would give you like 50 cents off your coffee to bring your keep cup because they're not paying for the cup to buy the cups.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Do you get a discount bringing your specialty Moulin Rouge cup?
it depends which staff member's on. I feel like I pay a different
Ah.
price every day I go there. Like, yeah, It's it's just
Okay.
like that. But yeah, so I just walk down with my little mug, which is like kind of a nice little treasure about like living near the city and just like
Yeah.
being able to wander down. Well, I am in the
Yeah.
city, but essentially I'm in the
Okay.
city.
So, but you're a risk taker because you don't have a lid. So you're walking goose with the mug ex open. Like we're
Yeah,
not spilling. Like you're just out here free balling it. Oh, okay. It's
cappuccino.
small.
I've drank half
Ah.
of it. Cappuccino, so she's got a good frothy head to keep her fluids in.
Ah.
I will admit
Okay.
I'll admit when I get Phil gets a long black sometimes, and I'm a big spiller of a long black because it's just like shloop 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 up
Yeah.
the walls of the
Yeah.
cup. But I'm pretty handy with a good old cappuccino with a good head of froth.
Okay, good to know. So is it just cappuccino? Like you don't add anything to it? Like we're just going like all natural?
Honestly, cappuccino's fancy for me. I usually just get a latte.
Ah, uh-huh.
And
Okay.
no, just au natural. No syrups, no sugars. I really hate them all.
Oh, you're not a creamer sugar girl in
No,
your
which is why
coffee.
I've judged you very harshly.
Okay, that's right.
But in
Okay. It's
fairness,
all
I
coming back. It's all coming back to me now. Yes, the creamers. Yes, yes, yes.
it's
I
okay.
I've been going more natural though
Oh
with
yeah,
my
what's natural for you?
coffee. It's just a little bit, either half and half, which is like cream and milk, or just milk, whatever I have in the fridge, and like a little bit of sugar. That's
Mm,
it. Although you mentioned getting coffee, so I was like, I should actually get some myself.
coffee cheers.
And so, bing, bing.
I felt
So
that.
thank you. Yeah, the energy was there. So right after you left to go get your coffee,
Mm,
a reel popped up, of course, as it does, and it was this guy, like, 300 days or whatever it says, of me making different types of coffee. So he took like instant coffee and then he added a little bit of peanut butter and a little bit of honey
damn.
and a little bit of milk. And so I was like, I'm gonna just try it. And that's what I just did. And it's
Oh,
actually really good. Yes, it's good.
did the peanut butter melt enough?
Oh, I had to stir the shit out of it. He had
Yeah.
a, special, like one of those frother things. I have them, but I was like, I'm not gonna get it dirty. So I just,
Sorry, the face I make is because I'm going to sneeze, possibly. I'm
it's okay if you're
not
judging me.
just
It's actually
scorning
the,
your peanut butter coffee.
yeah,
I think I
it was
tried
good
one
though.
somewhere, but I do find when they try to do a fan, I have had, what do you call it? There's some fancy name for it. It's got some cloud razor or something. I don't know.
Oh.
There's this or tiger cloud. I don't know. Coffee aficionados are gonna know what I'm trying to say here that I cannot think of. This was a wave of like, yeah, fancy ass coffees that have been
Hmm.
hitting us. And I did love so just like a straight coffee, but then they put uh like orange zest,
Oh,
maybe even a bit
okay.
burnt orange zest, and it had like a little floaty top as well. And I had it as an iced coffee a while back, and it was really, really magical. I will say it's
Mm.
magical. It's just for me, that type of thing feels like a dessert. You know, when it's that rich and it's got like
Yeah.
bits of cookie on top and whatever. I love it, but it's like dessert. Whereas my morning coffee, I'm like, it's a very, very precious, just it's
Hmm.
little its own entity, you know?
Just brings you a little joy. No, I go to bed at night looking forward to like waking up and having coffee in the morning. It's a ritual of just like
Yeah.
holding the warmth and just especially right now you guys are in your winter time, so it's like extra
Yeah.
chilly. Like,
It
oh,
does feel
bye.
very romantic, like walking down with my cup and just like,
Yeah.
in the quiet city streets. Especially at this time, like it's pretty quiet, but like, there's just the sounds of the cafe opening up and the clinking of the china and all that. It's
Oh,
very
painting a
romantic.
picture for us. Thank you.
Yeah,
You
and the
painted that well.
paper was on the table, and some horrible man had been like arrested, and I was like, fuck yeah, it's a good day. Like
It's
when
a
they get
good
him,
day.
it's a good day when
Yes.
they get him and they like actually have the I think that's why I have had to take a break because it got too heavy, but you know how I go through my rounds of like cult docos. It has opened up to
Yeah.
crime docos a bit lately.
Yeah.
Um, in particular, the series like the worst ex ever and the worst neighbor ever. But inevitably, because it's the worst, it can end in like horrible murders, right? But like I realize the reason I watch these things is the satisfaction of actually seeing these horrible people brought to justice is something I need.
Mm-hmm.
Not a
Mm-hmm.
want, it's a need. That's why I think
Yes.
globally you could hear the sound of women and good men cheering when the Tate brothers got arrested recently.
Yes. Yes. And their little outfits
Oh
and
my God. The outfit just slay. It was the universe giving us like the universe was like, you've suffered and I'm gonna feed you today. They're gonna get arrested and they're gonna look like show ponies while they're doing it.
so
Oh,
fancy, fancy show ponies. Yes, that's so funny. Yes, give us something. Give us goods. Actually, you know what? Hi everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Angela Montoya. I'm here with Melanie Schubert. Welcome to this literary feast. Um, okay, where was I just gonna say? Oh, I have actually been sort of on a like a hope core journey in reels lately where not everything is doom and gloom and like really like taking the time to try and find good news in the world and like good things specifically here in the States because it feels like it just continuously gets worse and worse
yeah.
our news. But like I've been finding all these like really amazing things that people are doing here in the States, kind of in spite of
Mm,
everything or because of everything. And a lot has to do with like really fighting against like data centers, really taking our own cities and our nature into our own hands, like those sort of things.
yeah.
Like just here, like in my city, one of the large city that I'm near, like people have just been gathering to pick up trash and like beautify the area. Not
Mm,
waiting for city workers or whoever is in charge, because who knows who's in charge, to do it. It's just them like, no, let's just band together and actually take care of our space because we work here, we live here, we own businesses here. And so I've been like slowly watching all of these things, and every single time they pop up onto my feed, I'm like purposely like liking,
Yeah.
commenting because I just want to see that and be reminded that there's so much more good happening beyond what we're seeing. Yes, there's so many bad things, but I do also want to see the good. And there's a lot like just so much happening here in my state of California, giving back acres upon acres of land to the indigenous tribes here. And, there's just good things happening. People starting their own like farms, making sure that the produce is handled well and safely. And,
Mm.
there's just like a lot of good things. So Hope Core for the win right
I
now.
love that so much. I try to train my algo as well to do that. Um, because yeah, I think it's important to stay informed, but it's important to stay hopeful. Otherwise, there's no point.
Yeah,
And like you're
for
so
real.
right. Like we need to remember that the goodness in people and like, yeah, there is so much good. There are so many people striving for the world to be better. It's just like, as they say, bad news is good news. And I think it's like we chat about this on the pod before, and we kind of touched on it in our interview, like about a lot of us, I think, our brains are wired to hang on to the negative to try fix it. It's like, this is a
Hmm.
problem. I need an immediate fix. I need an immediate answer. But with a lot of the type of stuff we're seeing, there's not really immediate answers. And like it does seem to be like many, many, many grains of rice to tip the scale back. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so much that is going on behind the scenes and like even like we chat about one time in the little ways you can like the mini ways you can be an activist, like pulling people up when they say something inappropriate, like having those chats with people who are like open to listen and whatever. And like, yeah, I love to hear it. And we've got to like encourage that too, because I do think with social media, there's this wave of like people who just gonna like boost the bad news because that'll get them their views.
Yeah.
Lately, I've become a bit sus on some of
Yes.
the accounts that like I love them for reporting it, but maybe I just saw one too many and I was just like, I started to become a bit cynical, which I shouldn't because they're doing the hard work of like getting the information and putting it out there. But sometimes you just know that there's scammers everywhere and they'll just be like, I'll just put
Literally.
this, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Just for clicks, and they
Literally.
don't care. They don't care to make it change. That's my point. They just
Hmm.
care to build hysteria and fear, but not offer any reasonable change. And so, yeah, now when I follow a news account, like I love following Monty Marta
Mm.
and I love following Patagonia because they're like, they don't just talk about stuff. They're always like looking for ways to like do the ground level work as well. So, anyway,
Yes.
side
Love
rant.
that.
But
Yeah.
I love
No,
to
but
hear
that's
it.
how we roll.
I did want to ask was the mention of the produce. I heard something about lettuce. Is the lettuce okay over there? Like
Yeah.
I don't know what I
Oh,
was hearing.
yeah. Oh, okay.
People shit
Well,
themselves?
yeah, and you know what? It's really bad. Like
Oh
people get like
shit.
it's violent diarrhea. Yeah, it's a whole like conspiracy theory, but I don't know if it's even a conspiracy at this point.
Yeah.
But I think that the general public just does not trust anything that our government officials say, right? Um,
Mm.
so so yeah, okay, I'm probably not the source to talk
You're my
about this.
favorite. You're my
Yeah.
favorite source. I don't want the official scoop. I want your version.
Okay, yeah. Here's my version, okay? So the administration, Trump and them,
Mm.
they, the health and safety dude, he is kind of, he's he's not trustworthy.
Is
He's,
it Pete?
no, oh God, no.
No.
It's, not, not JFK, RFK Jr., RFK Jr. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. But
Oh,
He's part of the Kennedy family, but
yeah.
they've disowned him basically because of how sort of like outrageous his claims are, right? He had like a
I know
worm
the
in his
one.
brain. Okay. Anyway, so he's very I don't know what he is. I don't know what he stands for. However, when Trump and his administration came in, they sort of wiped out a lot of the organizations that like, check our food safety.
Fuck.
And yeah, and so and you're thinking, why, right? Why would they do such a thing? It turns out it's because they are bought and sold basically by these big, huge corporations. They donate to their political, you know, uh, what do you freaking call that? They donate to them, right?
Yeah.
So they're buddies. All of these big corporations are buddies with our president and with all of the, people, quote unquote, in charge. And so why have all these safety regulations that are just going to like, hinder these businesses from selling more shit? Again, as you can tell, I'm not an expert on such things. I don't even know the proper terminology. I don't even know who the guys are, just because I can't remember names at this point in my life. But basically, Melanie, a bunch of people started getting sick, okay? And they couldn't figure out, "Wow, where in the hell is this explosive diarrhea coming from?" And at first, they tried to blame Taco Bell. They said, Taco Bell.
Stop. Stop. That's
They said,
wild.
yeah, they said Taco Bell is doing it. You guys have known for years. You guys get the shits from Taco Bell. Blame Taco Bell. Then Taco Bell came out and they said, whoa, whoa, whoa. This isn't on us. In fact, this is the lettuce that we have been sold. And then they figured out it was although I guess it's all hearsay. They keep trying to blame Taco Bell. Taco Bell's like, bitch, it's not us. Don't even try. And so basically it turns out that this company, Taylor Farms, who produces produce for so many things and who also claims to do like organic, all natural type
No.
shit and sells it at some of our most like expensive stores. So it's that company. And they've been doing, and kind of creeping around the edges. They've been getting away with shit. They did away with a lot of the protections. They're not treating their workers right. And so that's sort of how it seems to have stemmed as like, it's not Taco Bell. It's the produce sold to Taco Bell
Oh my
by these
God.
people who donate a lot of money to Donald Trump and his cronies.
Oh
So
my God.
this is the little rabbit hole I think most of the people here have been going down, or at least on threads. This is where I learn my information. So yeah, so of course everything, as it always turns out, is just about corporate greed and the hellscape that is like this country selling its soul slowly or quickly to big business. And so people are getting explosive diarrhea. We can't even eat lettuce, without worry. So, but I think again, to spin it on the positive, now we know who this company is. Now we know what they
Mm,
stand for. Now we know the works, like how they treat their workers. And now we know other produce companies that don't do
yeah.
that. And that's who we support. So Gotham Greens is a big one that I've been eating lately. So I haven't missed out on
Mm.
my lettuce consumption because I've found new sources. I'm sure Gotham Greens isn't everywhere. And you would be surprised
Wait, you
how
froze.
Taylor Farms owns. Allegedly, I don't want to get sued by Taylor Farms. Not that they allegedly. But we all, I think, most of the country band together and said Taco Bell is not to blame. We have
Mm.
all gotten the shits from Taco Bell, yes, but don't blame our girl Taco Bell.
Yeah, and it was probably self-inflicted. You know, when you make the wrong choice and you know your stomach is that spice level's too much for you, and you know that if
Yeah,
you mix the this one with that one, but you know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
that's right. That's right. We don't blame our girl Taco
Self,
Bell. We
yeah,
don't blame
yeah.
our girl.
You know what that type of poop is, but you also
Yes.
know a food poisoning poop. You know what I mean? It's different.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Like
So yeah. So I don't
when I
know.
get food poisoning, I can like I should not have made that segue. You have no idea what I'm
No,
gonna
no,
say.
please. I want to know. Yes.
When I get food poisoning, without fail, even if like I've eaten many, many things after it, I just know. I
Hmm.
know it was X food, and
Yeah.
my body, it's like my body plays an image of it over and over again. And I'm just like one time I had this like apple and rhubarb pie, and you think it's a very benign thing that wouldn't make you wouldn't think that your brain would zone in on it. I just knew it was that, and I was just like felt sick at this the thought of apple and rhubarb pie, and
Yep.
you
It
just
knows.
one time was an egg sandwich, and I
Ooh,
struggle with an
yeah.
egg sandwich now.
That's a that's a risky one. I do love an egg sandwich, but that's a risky one.
Oh, girl, it was on like a year 12 school trip. And
Well, yeah.
so, and they'd like had it in the lunchbox or whatever. And then because I was like a little freaking teenager with like people pleaser problems, I just like hid the fact that I had like full blown like salmonella. I was so sick. I think I
No.
told you this. This was the time I shit my sleeping bag on
Ah.
my field trip. That old chestnut.
It happens, you know, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like
But
it's
yeah,
only
the
going to
body
happen
knows.
more as we get older, you know?
Yeah, it's
Anyway, I'm
true.
sorry
Our
about your
bodies do.
shitty lettuce, but yeah, it does feel very shitty lettuce for a shitty president, right? Like it feels
Yeah,
very,
it feels very right in the
yeah,
worst of ways. It's not like nothing is surprising at this point.
nothing is
Again,
surprising.
my facts could be totally wrong, but
That's okay.
from my investigative research on threads, this is what I have learned. Yes.
My
Can't
God.
trust it. All conspiracy theory. You always got to follow the money, you know? You got to follow that paper trail.
That's okay. It's okay. We're a conversational podcast. No one, if anybody, disclaimer, it's anecdotal,
Yes.
anecdotal evidence. Um,
Yeah,
I just
don't
had
take
to
my
know
word
because
for
I
it.
heard something was wrong with the lettuce, and I was like, "Is everything
Yes.
okay right now?"
Yeah. It's honestly, I was like a little scared. I was like, I'm not
Yeah,
trying to get explosive diarrhea.
girl.
But yeah.
One year we had like some fucking psycho putting pins in blueberries and
Oh my
strawberries and
God.
stuff. Like we've had weird food scares in Australia as well. I can't remember if it was exactly pins or whatever, but for a while, I do believe now all our berries and stuff have to go through metal detectors because of this one like hardcore.
Damn.
I shouldn't use the word psycho. Now I'm like super conscious of my wording. Um, one troubled
Troubled
soul,
in, yeah, troubled
disgruntled
individual.
employee or something.
Yeah.
They were putting
Damn.
like stuff into the berries, and yeah, they got all pulled from the major supermarkets for a while, and stuff was hectic. So
Damn. Well,
it
see,
happens
that's the
here
thing
too.
here. In many of our stores, they're not pulling it.
Oh my
Any, you know what
God.
I mean? Some places, but a lot of them are like, and a lot of people have no idea. You know what I mean? So
Uh, they're just like,
what are
my
you gonna do?
irritable bowel is playing up. And it's like, no, girl,
Yeah.
you're eating like poison lettuce.
Yeah. Like it has poop on it.
Oh,
Like
they're
it's from
just
poop. It's from human poop.
human poop.
Yeah, Melanie.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Yes.
Where are they getting the
Yes.
human poop?
I
Just the
that I
sewage,
don't
treated sewage or not treated?
it could
Probably the
be.
same one.
I haven't looked into that deeply yet, you know?
Can
I
you look into
haven't
it?
gone
Because you
there.
can't just
Yeah.
make a claim of human poop and stop there.
No, but I do know it is human poop, but I don't know how. I don't know. But again, they don't treat their workers well. Maybe they don't have proper bathroom facilities. I don't freaking know.
Oh my God. It like
I don't
leaked out
really
of the
know.
sewer. Okay, we'll research more and get back to it.
Yes, let me do my investigative
I wanted
due
to take a
diligence.
moment, speaking of things that are the complete opposite of shit, I wanted to take a moment to just fucking rave review. Now, I've only gotten to read a little bit so far. And
Mm.
I have to tell you that the other day I was sitting there and I was like, I have to get back to that movie I'm watching. And it was The Immortal Undoing. It was your book.
Oh, I thought it was one of my recommendations.
No, it was your book was in my brain like a little brain worm, and it was just like I need to keep watching. I need to find out what happens because I was very lucky to read early snippet, and I'm fucking obsessed with this world that you've built. And as per usual,
Yay.
your characters are just on point. As per usual, you've leveled up once again as a writer. And I just need to know what happens next. Like yeah, listeners, you're not
Chaos.
even like ready for this, Montoya. Like we've got the gods, we've got this amazing world that you've crafted. The magic is like everything you've crafted is so like unique, and I really just wanted to sit in that world and like learn about all the different parts of it. So
Yay. Thank you for reading it so fast, honestly. You killed it with the notes. I haven't gone back. I mean, I've read them, but I haven't gone back and like started editing yet, and I'm really
yeah.
excited to because I know there's a lot of cuts right there that I need to
Yeah.
cinch up. But yeah, thank you.
I mean, listen, I would have loved it as it is, but if trimming needs to happen, your underwriter friend is here to help.
Yes. I appreciate it. I thank you for that. And I think that's what's like that's one of my favorite things about us is that we can just like throw each other our projects. We can try and get to them as fast as we can and
Yeah.
like and really just because we have different strengths, different weaknesses, and so we can kind of like build off of each other. And I think that's awesome. So thank you for reading that.
My
I got to
fucking
read
honor.
no, no, no. I got to read a synopsis from Sis over here of her middle grade graphic novel. And I like it's so cool. It's so cool. I like it better. We need art. We need like the whole masterpiece. Like you can like I have no idea what these creatures would look like in your mind, and I want to know stat. Like I need it in my life.
Yay.
So yeah, good job.
I mean, I still have
And
to do my big revision,
yeah.
but I've got a solid synopsis, I think. We'll wait to see what
Yeah.
Sandra thinks.
Okay. We haven't heard yet. We're waiting for it.
We're waiting
Okay.
for it.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm
You
excited to get
kicked
back to it.
ass.
Hey.
You
Oh,
kicked
thank
ass with
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun with this project, and yeah, I did underwrite it severely, so we have to flesh her out. But yeah, honestly, I think stopping to, and this is why actually Sandra is so good for me because she really does see, and that's why I've spent so much time working on a synopsis because she really does see like the areas where I can improve. And I being but like in my heart, I'm a pantser. In my heart, I just wanna, and honestly, I don't want to veer too far away from that. Like the more I like listen to like the kind of stories people actually want, it's never formulaic. Like at the end of the day, even if it seems formulaic, like knowing the basic beats of Save the Cat, but like I still want to keep my pants a heart and let the story
Hmm.
tell the direction it wants to go and just like go on all the side quests and whatever. Because that's what I find interesting when I'm watching it, like the genre blend, the and that's the thing, like even though I've drawn a lot from like kind of Croatian and Slavic mythology for this graphic novel, but I've also just like gone off the rails and had so much fun and just made shit up and whatever because that's what felt the most fun to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. That's my favorite part too, because for The Immortal Undoing, I'm definitely pulling from Mesoamerican lore, history, but I am inserting a lot of just my own kooky ideas or scary ideas into it. And that part is so fun of like blending and pulling and like adding and taking it like that's like my favorite part, I think, of writing is sort of
Mm,
like building those the lore and the mythos in the
yeah,
world and yeah,
I
it's
love
freaking
that.
fun.
I was gonna ask you, like, actually gonna ask you a writing question, like, what's your hot writing tip right now?
Huh. Huh. Hmm. I don't know. Do you have one? Let me think too. What am I going through right now? What am I fighting through right now?
Is it your
Uh,
Aqua notes, maybe? Have you
my
been
what?
using them, your Aqua notes?
Oh, I love my Aqua Notes. Yes. Those are they really, did you ever get any?
No, I didn't get them in the end because I decided I just
Oh,
want to
that's
keep
right.
my showers meditative. I
Okay,
think if
that's
I take the
valid.
Aqua
That's
notes
fine.
into the shower, I regret it sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, because sometimes I just have an idea and I just want to write it down while I'm in the shower.
Yeah.
Inevitably, I may cave in at some point just for that.
No,
But
no,
like,
no, you stay vibing.
yeah.
Stay vibing in there. Yes, that is a good spot. You know what? Actually, I have been having to tell myself as I'm going through these revisions
Mm.
is that I can't fix everything during that first revision. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I've got several notes from my editor, notes from you that I know I need to get to and fix.
Yeah.
But this first round, I'm just trying to go through like the inline questions for my editor and like
Mm.
fix like these sort of these tweak things that need I know need to be tweaked.
Yeah.
And I know there's other things that I also need to get to, but my brain just can't do it all at the same time. So I just keep telling myself like, okay, fix what you can here, fix these threads that you're already working on, and then once it's
Mm.
done, we'll go back and get to those other bigger things that you know you need fixing and
Yeah.
like dig deeper then. So I think my writerly advice right now, because it's what I'm living through, is to be okay with not tweaking every single thing while you're revising. Like it's
Yeah.
okay to go back. And then probably I'll have to go back one more time before I send it in. Just because
Mm.
it's just what my brain needs. She can't like pull all of these threads
Yeah.
at the same time. Like it's too much.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
love that's such valid advice and like one that I need to listen to more. And I think like following on from that for me as well is just kind of like, yeah, like I think that sometimes like it's a lesson in like I need to humble myself a bit more because I think sometimes I finish a draft and it feels so perfect. I'm like super
Mm,
hesitant to wanna I'm like, well, no, I this feels complete to me and this feels as it should. I struggle to wanna like break it. But this process of editing, oh my God, I gave it balloons again. I don't know why. Uh, I talk with my hands a lot and it sets off the whatever this feature is.
balloons, yeah.
But yeah, I do think that like this particular graphic novel, this book, this process, it has been very like humbling and also liberating for me. Um, Initially was despair because I was like, I thought it was so perfect. I was like, this is
Hmm.
perfect. It's a perfect story. Every line felt perfect. But there's such like a when you're like telling yourself that, I think it's a mistake. I'm just gonna
Mm,
call it. I
hmm.
think it's a mistake in it, like until it's on a fucking shelf to tell yourself it's perfect and it's done. Like, and I'm not gonna do that anymore because at the end of the day, if I just wanted to write things that felt perfect to me, I'd just have a little book of poetry that I wrote to myself and whatever. It's gotta hit the things that like my agent wants. It's gotta hit the things that the editor wants. And and yeah, so it's been like letting go of what felt perfect to me to like revise now and like expand. I think I'm gonna wind up actually having a much deeper arcs and more and just like I know we say it all the time, but like not to get like if I get feedback that's negative, but when it's from your trusted people, just like trust that it's going to elevate it and like let yourself sit with that. I think yeah, my hot writing tip is like take a second to sit with your disappointment and like shame and grief, which all sounds
Mm.
super intense, but realistically, it's what I go through during writing process. I know a lot of us do. Like let yourself have that moment. And oftentimes once I actually am like, okay, I acknowledge that I'm feeling this way, I'm having this moment, I'm like, okay, well, like let's get on with it now because that's not going to get us anywhere. And then later I'll feel embarrassed that I felt so precious about it. And so I'll be like, oh my God, just move on. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
that great. It wasn't that perfect. You just had it in your head that you're going to break the book if you try change it or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's really, really good advice too. It's because it's like when you think it's perfect and nothing can be done, you sort of block off the opportunity to make it better,
Yeah.
make it richer, make it deeper. But what you said about like feeling the shame and the
Yeah.
guilt and like embarrassment from critiques from your most trusted people, from all, whoever, it's so real because every single time I get like a critique and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Or like, or, I misspell something or the text, I'm like, oh, that's so embarrassing. Like you
Yeah.
really do feel it in your core, like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
so embarrassing. And it is, and it's okay. I don't like I don't think you shouldn't be embarrassed because it's just your natural
Yeah.
feeling. So you don't want to like shut it off. And so I like what you said, like you're allowed to feel it and stay in that moment because it's totally natural.
Yeah.
But the shame is real.
The shame is real. Like I felt genuinely embarrassed that like I fucking just like missed the main I just like missed such a major thing, which
Yes.
I do tend to do. This is why I get Phil to read forms for me because I'll just like miss like a critical part and he'll be like, go back. When I was filling out my because we have to renew our licenses like every whatever. When I was filling out the form recently and he just like pointed up to the top of the form and I like fully missed like a major part of the thing. I was like, dang it. Oh well.
Yeah, the
Luckily I
brain is working on something else. We can't get everything, and that's why we need eyes on
Luckily.
it.
Thank
Yes.
you. My
Hey.
brain has this other priorities.
Yes. But sitting with it for a little bit is so helpful too. And then like going out, taking a walk,
Yeah.
taking a bath, like doing something else. And it's always seems like at that time is when it clicks, like, oh, okay, wait, their notes were dead on, and this is what I should do, and this is what I could do.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, then you start worrying because you're like, wait, this is gonna break everything, and it's gonna be so much work. And it is always so
And
much
it
work.
is. I was gonna say, like, unfortunately, that part I have never found a way around that. I am anticipating that this will wind up being like close to a full rewrite at this point, but if like Sandra's happy with this synopsis. But yeah, sometimes I'm just like, this is what I do. I'm trying to remind myself, this is what I do, this is what I get to do. And like that's part of it. It's a harder part, but I don't want to keep like sitting there and being like worrying about it. I just want to get on with it and do the work.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
Just do
speaking
the
of people
work.
who have done the
Yes.
work, we had
Oh,
on today.
are we running
Well,
out of
we are
time?
ticking. If you've got it in front of you, we've got like a minute and a half.
Okay, okay. I'm ready. I can't see the time, so I'm
Oh my
glad you told me.
God.
Okay. Okay. Danai Christopoulou is a Greek author raised on a diet of myths and tragedies. Danai's writing has appeared in Glamour, Marie Claire, khōréō, Fusion, Fragment, Flame Tree Press, Writer's Digest, and more. Nominated for a Pushcart Prize and for the Best of Small Fictions, and featured on the Nebula and Stoker recommended reading list. Vile Lady Villains is Danai's debut novel. Growing up amid the ancient ruins of Athens, Greece, Danai currently haunts a forest in Sweden.
I had so many
Yes.
questions about the forest in Sweden. You would have been proud. I wanted to go on 50 side quests about the forest, but I knew that
Yeah,
we didn't have the
same.
time.
Same. I really wanted to stop and be like, "Can you tell us your life story?" And
I
maybe
will.
we should have. We might
We'll
have
just
to
have
have
to have
Danai
her
back
back.
on
We'll have to have
to
her
be
back.
nosy.
But keep
Yeah,
your eyes out, listeners. There's only going to be more agents this month. So, we're bringing you the goodies right here.
that's right. Bringing you the goodies. Yes.
Oh, Matthew popped out again. That's right. We're bringing you the goodies.
That's right.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Dang it, I didn't get to tell you about Snake Church again, but we're going to get there. You know what? I'm going to send
We
you the
are.
clips this time. Yeah, and ready to go. My voice is a
Woohoo.
bit croaky because I was sick last week.
Oh,
I
oh no.
know. It's okay. It's my sexy jazz era.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi everyone, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you hear us okay?
And also, yes, and also crucially, can you see the book covers normally or are they mirrored?
No, they're great
No.
for me.
Yeah, they look good.
Perfect. Good. I
Are
had to
all
like make it mirrored so that it looks great on Zoom, but it also always trips me out when I look at it. So
That's
Oh, I see.
fair.
So for in your eyes, they look reversed.
yeah,
Uh-huh. Okay.
exactly.
Okay. But for us, they look great. So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Are
you.
those okay? I see Vile Lady Villains. And so what is, well, I guess it would be over your other shoulder. What books are those?
Mm.
Yes, so this is my author pile and this is my agent pile. I contain like dualities here.
Yeah.
So these are the two client books that are about to be published very soon. And we had the cover revealed, and I'm just so excited for these books. I can talk about them in length if you want, but maybe a bit later.
Yes, we'll definitely be asking you because the covers are really cool and like really, really interesting. So, and I will be stalking those books and covers and authors later.
Yes, we definitely want to get back to them soon, but we do like to ask like a few little questions just to get to know you. Starting with what is the strangest or like most important thing to you that you own?
First of all, let me preface by saying this. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I know we're all in different time zones, so that's really cool. The most strange and precious thing I own is my cats and my chickens. To be fair, I don't exactly own them. It's more like they own me, but they're
Mm,
both strange and precious. Oh,
I love that. Okay, how many
yeah.
cats? How many chickens? Like, tell us a little bit more. Tell us more about them, please.
currently it's four chickens and three cats.
Mm.
You're living the dream.
Yeah, that's a good collection. Are they laying hens?
Yes, when they feel like it, when the weather is nice, when they've had enough food and they feel like spending some time in the egg box. They're mostly my pets, but anything they want to provide is an extra. So,
My
yeah,
dream is to have chickens
I
again and to
love
just
that.
have a fresh egg in the morning, you know? Just a little fresh egg from my gal.
it's nice for sure.
Yeah, a little gift, a little gift, a little lunch from your beloved chicken was always nice. A little breakfast. I love that. Okay, well, what is something that you think about way too often? What's always on your mind?
Everything. I have ADHD. Everything, everywhere, all the time, simultaneously, but mostly books.
Yeah. Which
That's
books in
valid.
particular, like mostly client books and what you're writing, or is there something that just like
Yeah,
gravitates your brain constantly back to?
I think it's a combination of the book I'm writing, the books I'm reading that are not published yet, client manuscripts,
Mm.
full manuscripts in my query inbox, books from fellow author friends that I'm reading for a blurb. So it's like a salad of words in my brain at all times. And of course, the books that I'm reading because they caught my eye.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, you're just in a constant state of words running through your head. Are you the kind of reader or writer that like sees the story visually, or are you just like reading the words and taking them in?
I think it depends on the story. I think I managed to see some parts of it. I kind of struggle with descriptions of cities and architecture and things like that, interior spaces, both when I read it and absorb it, and when I try to write it, I have the dreaded white room syndrome. So, yeah.
That's really
But I can
relatable.
have very vivid imagination when it comes to like people or fantastic things, or so it really depends.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, I'm actually the same. Like there's certain things I'll picture to like extreme detail, but then yeah, like the white room thing, I'm like, yeah. Or like when there's a battle scene in a book, I'm just like, oh. I didn't want to hear
That makes
about
There's
sense.
limbs, different limbs doing things. I don't know. I can barely keep up. Good for you guys, you know.
them.
Yeah, that's relatable. I think we just had an author was talking about how when they see, like when they write their own characters, they just see like a blank face, like no feature, just kind of just there, you know? And
Mm.
actually it's kind of I'm like as I'm thinking about my own stuff, it's like, no, that makes sense. Like you're just kind of like putting this avatar on the page and just kind of like putting them or doing their things, you know. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun being a writer and a reader and I would imagine an agent. Like you're just in the
Mm.
world. But did you know that you always wanted to be a writer?
I think I wanted to be many things. I wanted to be an actor for a brief part of my young years because both my parents were actors. So I grew up. It's a bit like when both your parents are doctors, you kind of feel like, I mean, I probably should be a doctor too, right? It's what's
Mm.
expected of me. The problem is I was very bad at acting. It was my favorite part of acting was like reading the words, diving deep into character motivations, doing outlines of like what's happening in the play. And then I'm like, maybe I prefer writing more. It's also a bit safer. You know, no one will boo you to your face. They will do it on Goodreads, but there is a degree of separation still, you know.
That
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
I love that. You just look like quietly behind the scenes going, yeah, I think the writing part is for me. So then what led you to kind of like gravitating towards writing and publishing in general?
So I've been writing nonfiction since I was 19. I've been writing for women's magazines back in Greece. Uh, so writing has been what words has been my main like source of income, my main profession in different forms. Slowly, the writing evolved into website content,
Mm.
newsletter content. Then I pivoted to ghostwriting, which got me kind of thinking, like, if I can write books for other people, why don't I dare to start writing books for myself, you know? So after I ghost wrote a couple of books, both fiction and nonfiction, I started toying with my own fiction. It was also like the COVID years back then. So 2020, I started writing something. Then it was the Twitter wasn't the bad place yet. We had this like thriving writing community there, the pitch events. I met a few authors. I basically was introduced to the concept of querying and traditional publishing, and I started sending my manuscript out. And then I got very lucky with finding an agent 6 months in, which made me really naively believe that things are going to be so easy from that now on. And then I spent 3 years on submission with different projects, and it was slow hell. And I think through that hell is where I figured out that I also want to be a literary agent because I wouldn't have managed to maintain what little sanity I have left if it wasn't for my agent throughout these years and how transparent she was and how supportive she's been. So I wanted to be that champion for someone else. I wanted to help authors through this. I wanted to help bring more books into the world, basically.
I
So
Mm.
love that. I
here
love
we
that you
are.
use
Here we
like,
are.
yes. I love that you use sort of the thing that you were struggling with or that was so hard for you. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna reach back. I want to make a difference and be there for somebody else. Would you like, because I'm sure we have so many, you know, writers in the querying trenches right now. As an author and an agent, like, do you have querying advice or something that you learned that like saved you during the process?
I think don't query before you're ready. And
Mm.
this is also like, I'm guilty of that. I sent, there was this like pitch event where you can submit to the, I don't remember what it's called now or if it's still going on, but you could like submit in a website parts of your pitch. And there were also publishers that could see it, editors and agents. So I actually did that before my book was even ready, which is
Mm.
like, please, people don't do that. I probably made all the mistakes that I am now seeing and saying people don't do that. But yeah, don't query before you feel like your book is ready. You've done a few drafts, you've had your beta readers go through them. You have someone looking at your query package. Ideally, you don't have to pay anything, but just if you have a trusted friend or someone who knows how, how to write a query that grabs the eye, because it's a very different skill to be able to write a good book and to write a good query, right? It doesn't always translate. So yeah, do your research and please don't use AI. Please, I
Mm,
beg you.
Please.
Yes.
I dream every day of a world where it never came into our lives, honestly. Has that been like side quest, but has that been like on the agent side, I mean, author side as well, but agent side, how has that been for you, like dealing with this new thing?
Hmm.
I mean, we hear so many horror stories, right? It's more difficult on the query stage, but it's still kind of evident when the comps are random, when there is no real sense of stakes or personality anywhere at all, and then you start to question, and then you have to double check. And this is not an investigative path I want to be on when
Mm.
I'm just reading a query for the first time. I want to enter this potential new business relationship in good faith. I don't want to be like,
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, now going back to your book, you're being on submission, going through several different books on submission, and it was Vile Lady Villains, right? Yes, that was the book that you eventually sold. So, like, what was that process like for you? Like getting the call, that an editor is interested in your book.
It's so funny because this is a book I wrote for me. I had kind of given up. I was like, this is the fourth novel I've completed.
Wow.
So I had been out on submission with three different books before that, and two out of the three got very close several times, like several times into acquisitions, no. Several times second reads, no. Almost yes, no. So I've reached a point where it was like, you know what, maybe my writing is too Greek, too queer, too weird, too whatever for the traditional publishing industry. Why don't I just write this idea that I've had like since forever? Why don't I just write this crazy thing for myself just to have fun with it, you know?
Mm,
And then I wrote it and then I sent it to my agent and she loved it and then we edited it. And it's like, why don't we send it out and see what happens? And I just remember being so depressed the week we sent it out because I was like, okay, so now I know how this is going to play out. There's going to be another year of nothing or almost yes and no. So I immediately started writing different things to distract myself. And 2 weeks later, we had an offer because the
wow,
universe is insane.
The universe
literally.
is.
Yeah, I have to ask, like, it's so like wonderful to hear this, but like, what's it like going from that moment where you were struggling so much to now? Like, is it just like, tell me about how that is for you?
I think it's very difficult for me to allow myself to celebrate the wins.
Mm,
My brain is hardwired in always spotting the ways I've failed.
Hmm.
mm,
Well, I can blame my mother for that, but that's a conversation for another time, perhaps. But but yeah, it's always been a momentarily, I think the first feeling is disbelief, and then you're so terrified that the other shoe is gonna drop. And then somehow this like the goalpost keeps moving. So at first it's like, no, is it real? It can't be real. It won't be real until the contract is signed. And then it won't feel real until we've done the edits. And then it won't feel real until the cover is revealed. And then maybe they'll change their mind and won't publish it. These normal things that go through my brain.
yeah.
But I am actively trying to take a step back and like think that the Danai of 4 years ago or 5 years ago would be ecstatic at what we
Hmm.
have achieved.
Yeah.
So then I can keep criticizing myself for all the things that I haven't done, but I can still be like, okay, but here it is. And I think that's why one of the reasons I made this silly thing on Zoom is like sometimes I need to remind myself that these things have happened, that they're real. So
I love that you did
Yes.
that. I love it because yeah, it's such a tough industry. Like we have to celebrate all the wins. And I think you're so right about like always moving the goalposts and then being like, what next? What next? But like, because my brain does that same thing of like searching for the flaws and the ways I've failed instead of celebrating the wins. Because I guess it's like my brain is still like turning it around like a nut. Well, how can I crack this? How can I fix this? This is the problem I have to focus on. So I'm also on this same journey as you of putting the nut aside
exactly.
and being like, girl, put your book in the background, be like proud of like your journey because we have to. It's like, otherwise, what keeps you going, you know?
That's it
Yeah, we
right
have to
there.
be our most like passionate cheerleader in this industry because like we can have good people around us, we can have an amazing agent, an amazing editor, an amazing team, but no one is going to care about our book as much as we do, you know?
Mm.
Mm, mm-hmm. Yep. That's exactly it. Have you done anything like physically or like just anything at all to actually celebrate this huge like uh you know milestone in your career? Like have you bought yourself anything? Did you go out and get some chocolates like dessert? Anything fun?
I'm trying to think. I'm not very good at this. I also live in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a
Ah,
forest. So it's not always to go out and do things. It's not always a possibility unless you want to hang out with cows, for instance, that you can do that. But I think I got some veggie sushi, which I love, when we sold the US rights to the book. There has been some crying, and I think celebration usually it's like when I start crying, people are like, okay, what good thing has happened this
Mm.
time?
aha,
So,
yes. There you go. Yeah, get the emotions out. Like, because it's so huge and something
Mm.
you have been working for years. And it's just so
yeah.
amazing. What would you say has been, I mean, I know we touched on like your submission journey. Would you say that's been the hardest part of your writing journey so far, or what has been that really, really like hard moment for you?
I think it is adjacent to that, but it's the hardest thing has been being a Greek author at a
Mm,
time where Greek myth retellings are so prevalent and keep being told that the Greek retellings market is saturated and that my Greek myth approach is too different. So there's no space for it.
yeah.
Mm.
That has been really difficult to deal with, and I have been very disappointed, very angry at times because it feels, and we've seen these conversations happen now with the Odyssey, right? Like there is no space for Greek voices and our opinions on matters of our own culture because for some reason, Greek mythology is not considered Greek, it's considered like global or Western, which I'm not going to argue here. Stories belong to everyone. I don't think you need to be of a specific ancestry to write a Greek myth retelling. I've read wonderful Greek myth retellings by wonderful authors. But what I am saying is that you cannot exclude Greek authors from the conversation. Like this
Mm.
has been very hard for me to navigate throughout.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I can imagine, and I've seen you post about it before. And like I can imagine just the frustration of being like, hello, like this is actually like these are actually, this is my heritage, this is my culture. Like I'm allowed to be in this space. And in fact, I
Mm.
should probably be highlighted more so because you are an actual Greek author. Yeah, I can imagine like the frustration of seeing it's such a saturated space that you absolutely belong in. So yeah, I really I could see where that would be like banging your head against the wall, just screaming into the void sometimes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about the best part for you so far?
Mm. The best part has been other authors, like
Mm.
especially because I live in the middle of the forest and I don't have like a real life community around me, just all these amazing talented people I've met who have been super kind, from writing blurbs for Vile Lady Villains, like authors I admire, wonderfully talented people, to all these people who just go to a bookstore in Australia, in Belgium, in everywhere in the world, and snap a picture for me and be like, hey, I found your book here. Like, they will never know how much this means to me. Like, the community. And there's a lot of conversations about jealousy in the publishing industry, and I think it's a normal part of it. But when we stop seeing other authors as competition and we start seeing them as our ecosystem, as our community, I think the whole process becomes so much more rewarding in the end.
Mm,
Yes. Spoken like a true author and a true agent who just genuinely loves this community and books and the whole thing. Yeah, I love that so much. Especially, yeah, I'd imagine having just somebody chat to online at any given moment that is so excited for you is really awesome and so needed, I think, for all of us in this space. Okay, well, I want to brag about your book right now. First of all, the covers are so eye-catching, so good. Like I am obsessed. Can you tell our listeners about Vile Lady Villains? First of all, that title too, top tier. I love it.
Thank you so much. I was very happy that they kept it, because we know that in publishing sometimes our title, oh, dog, dog, hi, dog. Very cute.
a smoky
Sorry, I
boy.
am distracted by animals. That's always a
No,
problem for me.
that's valid. Smokey is an icon.
An icon for sure.
So yeah, I'm very happy we kept this title throughout. I'm having trouble pitching this book sometimes because it's very simple, like Clytemnestra meets Lady Macbeth, literally. But it's basically about what happens when you escape your story, you escape the world of your given narrative, and you get to build something else.
Mm,
So it's kind of like Portal fantasy, but not really. It's not a retelling, it's a bit of a sequel of the stories of Clytemnestra and Lady Macbeth. What would happen if they kind of met in like this nebulous liminal realm and they had to work together to survive? And none of the two understands exactly what's happening. Like, they don't know who the other person is. Are they a spirit? Are they a demon? Like, what is happening here? I was about to murder my husband. Like, I just slaughtered him in the bathtub, and you annoy me. Who are you? But then they get to build like a kind of like reluctant alliance to survive in this strange world that they don't recognize. And they also get to change and be slowly transformed throughout this relationship and this new world that they find themselves in. So it's like a weird mix because it has a lot of Greek mythology as the basis of Clytemnestra's story. It has a lot of Shakespeare as the basis of Lady Macbeth's story, but it's also quite irreverent with how it plays with these aspects, and it kind of like puts them in the blender and tries to make something new.
mm.
A bit bloody sometimes, but also hopeful, hopefully.
That's a good quote. A bit bloody, but also a little hopeful.
Yeah, I love everything you just said. This sounds like right up my alley. I want to know, is there something you hope your readers take away from the story?
I think that it's never too late to choose another path. It's never too late to have an epic adventure. It's never too late to have an epic love story. And you can just always change course. You can just always start again. You don't have to live your life in the confines of, you know, you've been born in or what you felt you need to follow. So,
Perfect. I freaking love that. And I think that's also like a good segue into talking about your agenting
Mm.
career as well, because it seems like that's sort of you took a shift and changed your path into agenting. Like, can you tell us a little bit about how you became a literary agent?
Yeah, so it's not an easy industry to break into. It's mostly based on like internships and like assistantships. It's especially hard when you're not physically located in a place like London or New York, with most of the agencies, or at least many of the agencies, used to be based in. But thankfully, one of the good things COVID has done for the world is like it kind of taught people that we are actually able to make connections online. We are able to work online. We are able to like work remotely from different parts of the world. So I started in 2023, I think, as an intern at Tobias, where I am now, which was
Cool.
just a year of like getting a sense of what is this thing? Can I do it? Reading queries, working closely with Lane Haymond, who is our president, getting a sense of horror because he's like the big shot horror agent in the US, and just getting a sense of different genres that I hadn't necessarily read so much before, but I always had a neat theoretical interest in.
Mm.
And then for two
Mm.
years, I was assistant agent, helping him manage his list, slowly growing mine. We started co-repping a few clients, meeting with editors, like growing my connections, both in the US and in the UK. And then this year, I got promoted to associate literary
Oh,
agent. I opened two queries. I got more than 1,000 queries in a month, which was a
Wow.
humbling experience. But yeah.
oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
I hear it's a lot. Like on that note, like I can only imagine how many you're reading now. What does make a manuscript stand out for you in amongst all that?
I mean, I think it really depends on the agent. For me, it's a mix of concept and voice. Like, I will probably be drawn by concept first, and then the voice will need to hold up for me to keep
Mm.
reading and stay engaged. I have had the opposite sometimes where the concept has been okay, not really groundbreaking, but then I would read the first paragraph and it would be such beautiful writing that then I would be like, okay, I need to read more of this.
Mm.
Mm.
But the golden ideal is like a combination of very strong concept and voice.
Mm.
That's good. And they know what they want. They know what they're doing. Like you were kind of mentioning earlier, like they show that they are ready pretty much. Like they got the manuscript finished. I
Mm.
think would be
Yeah.
probably probably good
But
as well.
also, but just also like to just like not terrify people. It's not like I will reject a query if it has like typos.
Mm.
Like this doesn't matter. You don't have to sweat it. If you write the wrong agent name, you know how many people have called me by the wrong agent name? I will not reject the query because of that. Like things happen. People are stressed. They send out queries in batches. So it's not that it has to be completely flawless. I just need to see that the person has studied, they know what they're doing, and they're just committed to keep trying and being better.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's good because it's so intimidating to query an agent. And so I think it's good for people to hear that if we
Yeah.
make a mistake, it's okay. It's like not the end of the world. Um, I love that. Do you feel like when you like the genres you represent, are they sort of the same genres that you like to read, that you like to write? Like, are they all different? Can you take us through
Mhm.
what you represent and, where your mindset is when you're writing a book versus repping one?
Yeah, so I think the common theme between what I write and what I read and what I rep is that I appreciate books that can mix different genres, that they can
Mm,
take wild swings and not necessarily stay within the confines of a specific plot, like premise or genre. But I do tend to gravitate towards wrapping stories that are not so much in the sphere of like the gothic romantasy or horror romantasy, like the one I wrote, for instance. I am more gravitating towards like horror with a social element or like stories that are speculative but more grounded, like that have a what if
Mm,
element, both in the fantasy and the science fiction, like kind of like stories that can be read by people who do not necessarily read genre fiction, but they would be interesting in that because it has a very unique speculative twist. At least that's what I'm looking for right now. I might be looking for something else next year. Like, I do really appreciate high fantasies that need a map and a lot of like dramatis persona in the beginning. I really appreciate science fiction that is super nuanced and very intricate. But for the things that I read, I feel more strongly about things that are genre but rooted in our world with a little bit of like, you know.
mm,
Yeah. Honestly, I want those as well. I'd like to
yeah.
read all of those as well. I'm here for it. What does a day in the life as an author agent look like?
I mean, I have a lot of chronic health issues, so
Mm.
honestly, it really depends on my spoons that day. But I am, because of also the time difference, I'm based in Europe, all my colleagues are in the US. I'm trying to take a few hours in the morning to just write, and then start sending emails, reading queries, having meetings with my agency colleagues, with editors, with clients when needed. So like, and then it goes on until the night, basically.
Yeah,
Mm.
so you're staying booked and busy.
Yeah, very,
Mm.
yeah, very relatable to have to manage like lots of different things. Like, are there certain tools that you use to like navigate it to like avoid burnout or like self-care tips that you have?
I am trying. If you have any, please let me know. For now, I'm mostly trying to do some naps when I can throughout the day. Mostly like to decompress in a dark room, a cat on my chest, vibrating, purring. That tends to help a bit.
Okay,
So
I'm obsessed with those answers though, because they're so simple and it's like stuff that I do, but like it doesn't necessarily get a platform. But yes, a nap. Can we talk about how essential naps are? And I think that like we're
Yeah.
all brought up feeling like that's so guilty and it's like an old person thing. Took me ages to break the mindset that like you can't have a nap because that's what an old person would do. And I was like, and that sounds excellent. The older people are smart and they're just like conserving their energy. Like, but to give yourself that permission of like, this is permitted, this is necessary. Like, literally, the dark room to reset my overstimulation is like, it can be the difference between a really bad day and a great day.
yeah.
Naps for all, naps for all. But it's true. You do have to break that stereotype of like feeling guilty that you're not up and staying active and like, keep working, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, a good nap, I think is so good. But I have a hard time myself, like
Yeah,
stopping and allowing myself to do it. But sometimes you just freaking need to rest.
mm,
I
Going in
mean,
the dark too.
I'm in many ways very privileged. I work from home. I don't have to commute anywhere. I don't have kids. Like I have animals, but it's not the same. They don't require the same constant, care. So I am just very grateful to be able to take some time when I need it so that I can keep going.
mm,
Yeah, yes. I love that you acknowledge the privilege too of just being able to rest.
mm.
I think it's a beautiful thing to know and to be grateful for. Yeah, I love that. Okay, I want to ask because we're down to our last few minutes here. Looking back at all you've accomplished, what advice would you give a younger version of yourself before you started this journey? Could be your author journey, your agent journey, both. What advice would you give to yourself?
I mean, I saw an interview by Emilia Clarke recently that I think she articulated perfectly what I would like to say, and it is, are you sure? Be
Mm,
absolutely sure that you want to do this. And that's what I keep telling people because like we don't tend to think so, but the publishing industry is basically as competitive as Hollywood or like other performance arts. So be ready, be sure that you want to do this so that no one can knock you off your feet because things happen. You might be devastated. if you're writing for external validation, you might not get it in the way or in the volume that you would like. So be really sure that this is what you want to do with your life and your time. And also because the financial aspect of it, like it's been really hard to balance being an author and being an agent with like trying to have an income. My income was mostly coming from like writing articles for magazines, writing content for websites, because these are not jobs that, you know, pay immediately unless you are a unicorn and you get a book deal for 7 figures, right? And even then, it's going to be split in 4 or 5 installments throughout the years. So just be very sure that this is what you want to do with your time and your energy.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
That's
I'm
good.
obsessed with this answer on it. That's going in the soundbite for sure. It's like, yeah,
That's good.
I feel like some people might be discouraged by that type of answer, but I always feel inspired by it because you're like, you have to have that grit. You have to like we said at the start, like back yourself to want to be here. And yeah, if you're just in it for like graces and airs, it's gonna be a bumpy ride, you know? Like
That's so good, honestly. Yes, soundbite that up, Melanie, because that is
literally.
legit right there. That's so good. Okay, we're down to our last 2 minutes. Are you currently open to queries? And is there anything like specific that you're looking for?
I'm not open yet, but I will open again in September. I'm just taking August to go through the fulls and partials I've requested, and then I will hopefully open again mid-September. I will see. I'm not sure exactly when yet. I am doing a pitch fest, which is my first actually conference as an agent, Philadelphia Stories, in September, I think 20. Yes, September 20. So I will be taking pitches during that, their pitch fest. Online, of course, I won't be in Philadelphia. And then I will open to queries around that time. And right now I'm really hungry for a horror that does something with Ozempic. Like I would
Ooh.
like to, like similar to the substance, similar to Luke Dumas's Nothing Tastes as Good, which is a very difficult book to read as a plus size person, but it's also super good. So something like that I would love to find.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. Listen up, world. That's amazing. Well, it's going to cut us off. Our time has ended. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you so
at
much for having
nighttime.
me.
Yes. And thank you, honestly, just for being a light in this industry. Thank you again.
Mm. And
Yeah.
please pre-order Love Never Dies by Emma Cole and Cracks by Christy Park Kolsky. Love Never Dies comes out this September, September 29. Cracks comes out next year in April. Did I manage to
Woohoo!
fit that?
Yeah, you got it in.
Yes.
Of the publishing persuasion, of the publishing persuasion.